Focused on ensuring Brazil's and the world's food security, Potássio do Brasil presents the Autazes Potash Project, which will produce the essential fertilizer, potassium chloride, to support Brazilian agribusiness production. The Autazes Potash Project is being developed in the municipality of Autazes, approximately 120 kilometers from Manaus, in the state of Amazonas. Potássio do Brasil conducted mineral research in this region, exclusively in pasture areas that have been anthropized for decades. About $230 million have already been invested, including geological surveys, seismic acquisitions, environmental studies, engineering studies, and land acquisitions. These studies identified and defined a mineable reserve of over 170 million tons of potassium chloride located in an underground layer approximately 13 kilometers long, 10 kilometers wide, and with an average mineable thickness of 2.5 meters, located about 800 meters deep. The main goal of Potássio do Brasil in Autazes is to create a fully sustainable project committed to the local community. Significant investments in socioeconomic and environmental programs are also planned, using the most advanced technological routes and engineering, bringing the most sustainable practices in the global mining industry to the Amazon region. The Autazes Potash Project is currently in the implementation phase, with construction started after the Amazonas Environmental Protection Institute, EPAM, granted the installation licenses, generating around 2,600 direct jobs and thousands of indirect jobs. The project will include the following activities to achieve potash production capacity: construction of 2 shafts to access the underground mine. The mine will operate using the long room and pillar mining system. The concentration plant will be able to process 8.5 million tons of ore annually and produce 2.2 million tons of granular potassium chloride per year. It is worth noting that potash production in Amazonas will meet around 20% of the country's needs in the first phase and reach over 50% of Brazil's potash demand, which is currently mainly imported from Canada, Russia, Belarus, Germany, and Israel. The technological route of the concentration plant, which uses proven technology worldwide, will involve the following operations: ore receiving, crushing, hot leaching, crystallization, drying, and compacting of the potassium chloride. The concentration plant will be installed in areas traditionally occupied by pastures used for cattle grazing in the region, for which the suppression of native primary forest vegetation will not be necessary, as indicated by environmental studies carried out by specialized consultancies. The existing access road, which will be revitalized and paved, will enable the transport of granular potash by truck from the concentration plant to the shipping port in the village of Urucurituba on the banks of the Madeira River, over a distance of approximately 12 kilometers. A river port will be built to support all potassium chloride logistics, primarily destined for the state of Mato Grosso, which consumes about 5 million tons of this fertilizer annually. This will eliminate the need for over 20,000 kilometers of transport via railroads, waterways, and roads previously required to import potash from abroad to Brazil, significantly reducing carbon emissions. On average, over 200,000 tons annually. Approximately 160 kilometers of transmission lines will be constructed, benefiting more than 100,000 residents in municipalities located along the right bank of the Amazon River. Additionally, Potássio do Brasil's project will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by using renewable energy from Brazil's energy matrix, with an impact reduction of more than 1.2 million tons of carbon per year compared to potassium exporting countries like Canada, which relies on gas, or Russia, which uses coal to generate electricity, emitting thousands of tons of carbon into the atmosphere. The project's premise is to mitigate any negative impacts and focus on enhancing positive impacts, especially to promote improvements in education, health, security, sanitation services, housing, and other benefits for the communities around the project. The waste generated by the Autazes Potash Project after the production process will be sodium chloride, or table salt. Once the salt is separated from the potassium and dried, it will be returned to the underground from where it was extracted, with no waste being released into rivers or contaminating the water table. Potássio do Brasil is a corporate citizen and will produce green potash, always adhering to ESG criteria with rigorous environmental, social, and governance processes. Potash produced in Amazonas, fertilizing Brazilian agribusiness.